Following up on the story about Oberlin College losing a lawsuit, oh my God, did they just make a ridiculous mistake? And I laughed really, really hard when I read this headline. Oberlin College mass email criticizing jurors could influence punitive damages hearing in Gibson's Bakery case. They say, from Legal Insurrection, publicly accusing jurors of disregarding, quote, the clear evidence our team presented when the trial is not over, is another baffling move by Oberlin College. Get woke. Go broke. Not absolute. I always want to clarify that. It's sometimes true. It's the funny saying. Let me just clarify this. Oberlin College is being sued for smearing, defaming, and harming the business of Gibson's Bakery. They lost. They have to pay $11 million. But the decision on punitive damages hasn't yet come. In what may be one of the most insane moves ever, the college sent a mass email criticizing the jurors before the jurors have even made their decision. Oh my God. Could you imagine having to decide whether or not someone defamed someone else, and they sent out a mass email criticizing you? Whoa. We didn't. I'd imagine the jurors saying, we didn't disregard your evidence. We looked through it and disagreed with you. How dare you? Oh my God. Let's read this story. And it's, for those that aren't familiar, there was some shoplifters who happened to be black at the bakery. They got arrested. They pled guilty. They apologized. But the school actually facilitated protests accusing the bakery of being racist and profiling people. And they just lost. And they pulled this nonsense. So let's see what happened. Before we get started, go to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There are multiple options to choose from in these trying times. As I broach these controversial issues, your support is that safety net to keep me afloat in the event they come for my channel as well. Which would suck, but whatever. I'll get in my van and drive off into the sunset. But also just like, comment, subscribe. It really does help. Legal Insurrection says, there are a lot of things about the way Oberlin College handled the Gibson's Bakery dispute and lawsuit that have had me wondering who, if anyone, is in control over there. As mentioned numerous times, from the start of this case, I have questioned the aggressive and demeaning attacks on the Gibsons' defense strategy. And I'm still shaking my head at the tone deafness of the defense in belittling this family business. So I'll clarify this. This is a business that's been around since 1885. That brings a warmth to my heart. They survived 2 world wars and the Depression, among other great crises in America. And they exist to this day. That's inspirational to me. And the defense said they were only worth $35,000, less than half a semester at Oberlin. How dare you? Seriously, are you nuts? That's a smack in the face to the community and to Americans who believe in America. But they did. And so they highlight this. They say, the jury seems to have agreed, rendering a combined $11.2 million compensatory damages verdict against Oberlin College and the Dean of Students, Meredith Raimondo. The next stage is a punitive damages hearing, since the jury found the defendants acted with intent and malice. Man. A separate punitive damages hearing is required under the Ohio tort reform legislation that passed several years ago. The point is to keep some of the more inflammatory evidence that does not go to liability or compensatory damages away from the jury during the initial deliberations. That additional evidence relevant to punitive damages could include information as to the wealth of the defendants, but also additional information supporting the need for punishment. In this context, there is nothing more baffling than a statement sent to alumni after the verdict by Donica Thomas Varner, Oberlin College's vice president and general counsel. The statement was contained in a mass email sent to alumni and possibly others criticizing the jury verdict and repeating the same stale defenses that failed at trial. I wonder what the jury is going to think when they hear they're being spoken of negatively because they felt they made the right choice. Not going to be, wow. What is it? Are you nuts? They said, I don't want to read through the whole thing, but they do say, we are disappointed with the verdict and regret that the jury did not agree with the clear evidence our team presented. Neither Oberlin College nor Dean Meredith Raimondo defamed a local business or its owners, and they never endorsed statements made by others. Rather, the college and Dr. Raimondo worked to ensure that students' freedom of speech was protected and that the student demonstrators were safe and lawful, and they attempted to help the plaintiffs repair any harm caused by the student protest, except, it was stated in the other article, they handed out flyers supporting the protest. So they say, well, we are disappointed by the outcome. Oberlin College wishes to thank the members of the jury for their attention and dedication during this lengthy trial. They contributed a great deal of time and effort to this case, and we appreciate their commitment. Our team will review the jury's verdict and determine how to move forward. So I do want to stress, they're not that hard. It's not that bad. They did thank the jury. Legal insurrection may be pushing a little hard, claiming, they're criticizing them. But I think from a legal standpoint, the person who wrote this probably knows better than me to say, you probably shouldn't put out this letter, period. Well, I'm saying this. I'd imagine you don't want to send out a letter that could prejudice the jury by stating you think they were wrong. Just, there you go. Wait, the trial's not over yet. There's more. Here's what they say. Procedurally, the email is baffling because the trial is not over. The jury will hear more evidence and render a verdict on punitive damages that could add another $22 million to the $11 million compensatory. The objective of any communications at this sensitive stage must be to first do no harm. That's how Scott Wargo, Oberlin's spokesman, handled it when contacted by me and other media after the verdict, indicating the college had no comment on the jury verdict. Wargo's statement was the professional response one would expect in this circumstance. So why are others at the college not heeding the basic corporate communication strategy? Well, I'll tell you what. That is a bit refreshing. I hate corporate PR nonsense. Just tell the truth. I'm glad they did, but now here's the problem. It's unfortunate. They're going to reap the benefits. I'm saying that facetiously. They're going to reap the harm. Substantively, the email is infuriating to anyone who has followed the case. Oberlin College and Raimondo were not, quote, held liable for the independent actions of the students. Rather, the defendants were held liable for their own conduct in aiding and abetting the publication of libelous documents, interference with business, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Let me repeat, it was the college's and Raimondo's own conduct that was at issue before the jury. That the general counsel of Oberlin College doesn't understand that, even if she disagrees with the jury conclusion, tells me something went very wrong with the way the case was handled internally at Oberlin College. The jury knows this. The jury knows that they were personally at fault, but they sent out a letter saying, we didn't. Whoa. You're calling the jury wrong? You're calling them liars, huh? A little hyperbolic there. Varner began serving at Oberlin's College as Oberlin College's acting general counsel on June 5th, 2017, and was appointed general counsel on March 2018. Prior to that, she spent 15 years in the general counsel's office at the University of Michigan. This means that while she was not at Oberlin College when the protest took place, she was general counsel starting several months before the lawsuit was filed in November 2017. Given her position, she likely would have been the administrator at Oberlin College overseeing outside counsel's handling of the case. Depending on what her role was in overseeing the failed litigation, effectively, she was the client. She may not be the best person to be involved in communication strategy post-verdict. He goes on to say, I saw this phenomenon when I was in private practice representing employees against securities firms, which usually had in-house counsel involved in termination decisions. When the in-house counsel who advised as to termination was also allowed, when the in-house counsel who advised as to termination also showed up overseeing the litigation, I knew there were going to be problems because that person had an interest in defending his or her own termination advice, rather than providing a cold, disinterested litigation assessment. We would have to know more about Varner's involvement in overseeing the litigation. But if she was the key point person at the college as to the litigation strategy, she may not be the right person to handle corporate communications. Well, let's just read the conclusion here because I don't want to make this one too long. Don't accuse the jurors. They say, for heaven's sake, don't make things worse. Don't accuse the jurors of disregarding the clear evidence. Don't repeat the same failed claim that the college administrators were simply keeping the peace and protecting free speech when numerous witnesses testified otherwise. So basically, you're being sued for defamation. When you get proven wrong in court and the jury says you lied or you're wrong, don't repeat the same misinformation. You're basically defaming them again. That's insane. I think they're going to get slammed hard on this punitive stuff. They say, and don't claim the college was held liable vicariously when in fact the college's own conduct was at issue. The post-verdict email could be Exhibit A at the punitive damages hearing as to why the compensatory damages are not sufficient to send a message to Oberlin College and its administrators. Whether it will be an exhibit, we'll find out on Tuesday. But I think it'd be pretty damn hilarious if they said, we told you defamed them. For you to come out afterward during the trial and say, no, we didn't, when we told you did, okay, pay up, because we need to send a message. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. on this channel. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you then.